Here's the reality. Tommy's right. It's not just race, though. It's also sexuality. Caitlin Clark is a white heterosexual woman in a black lesbian league, and they resent and are jealous of all of the attention and the shoe deal that she got.
Caitlin Clark, the incredibly talented WNBA rookie, has brought a lot of positive attention to women's basketball, and unfortunately has also sparked a ton of debate in the media about how players of different races are treated. Now, it's a nuanced discussion, but right-wing sports commentator Clay Travis's expert commentary was, was to just call the WNBA a black lesbian league.
Pausing here to deliver some honest truth as we do in our news coverage as well. TYT is facing challenges, guys, as the entire industry is. You know who could make the difference? You. If you hit the join button below, it's gonna make all the difference and keep us in business. We appreciate you, thank you. So listen, are there some people in the WNBA who are jealous of Caitlin Clark? I don't know them personally, but I would be surprised if there weren't, because in almost all situations like this, massive jealousy erupts. When a giant star comes and then, by the way, lifts all boats, but gets all of the attention. What happens in every league, even if it's a male league, female league, sports, non-sports, doesn't matter. Everybody else goes, whoa, we've been here all along doing all these great things. That person and that person is a way better player than her. She's just a rookie. People catch feelings.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't buy that. Like, at first, I did agree with that statement, Cenk, and I think in some cases that's true. But that doesn't happen in the NBA.
Of course it does.
Really? You have a bunch of you have a bunch of players in the NBA going after LeBron and like diminishing his
totally.
Oh, okay, then I take it back.
They snipe at each other 24/7, right? And every commentator and the rookies always get it the most. Oh, what have they done? They haven't done anything yet. You know about Bill Russell? You know how many championships he won, right? So this is super normal, guys. So people get jealous, no problem. Are they wrong, by the way? They're totally wrong. She's getting you way better, more attention to all of you, and getting higher salaries, etc. But is it racial? Wait, hold on.
There's a racial component. Let me present the story.
Okay, all right. Then I'll weigh in on whether I think it's racial.
Okay. You're gonna think it is, because I'm gonna have a lot of receipts. So, now before we get into that nuanced discussion, during a debate over whether race has played a factor in Clark's meteoric rise, commentator Pat McAfee chose, let's just be generous and say a curious way to make that case that the notion is wrong. So he outlined Clark's dominant television ratings, ticket sales, and jersey sales, and said this: what we're trying to say is what the WNBA currently has is what we like to describe as a cash cow. There is a superstar, but I would like the media people that continue to say, this rookie class, nah, just call it for what it is. There is one white bitch for the Indiana team who is a superstar. So he later apologized for that, and I watched that video. It was awful to, in my opinion, bring her race into it and do it in like this celebratory way. It almost felt as though it was like, oh, we finally have a WNBA player who happens to be white and she's super talented. You know, she's just dunking on everyone. Like, it had that feel to it. And so it adds to this like incredibly toxic environment surrounding Caitlin Clark, where, in my opinion, from what I've seen, people have kind of brushed aside how incredibly talented she is and kind of diminished it by talking about how, oh no, it's because of white privilege, or in Sunny Hostin's case, white privilege and pretty girl privilege.
Yeah, so just to be clear on McAfee, he is very much in favor of Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
And he just called her a white bitch, I don't know why, to get attention, I don't know. Like, I guess he's saying like, oh, she's a badass. So I don't want you to think McAfee's against her, he's for her, but like weirdly celebrating her race, I don't know what that's about. But look, Anna, in my case, in terms of does race play a role here, I think that the answer is partly, but go ahead, give more of the evidence and I'll explain what I mean by partly in a second.
Okay, so other WNBA players have been pretty vicious toward her. So one of the more recent examples had to do with her getting shoulder checked by Kennedy Carter, who's with the Chicago team. So we can't play the video, but we'll show you the screenshots of her literally shoulder checking her. And then you see her fall to the ground. Now, After the game, the league actually upgraded the hit from a common foul to a flagrant foul. And then the incident isn't the first time that players have gotten physical with Clark since she started with the WNBA. It's just the latest example. So I didn't know this, but the WNBA is comprised of 70% black players. And I think, look, I can understand the frustration if no one was paying attention to the WNBA until all of a sudden they are, and the person that they're paying attention to happens to be a white player. And so the automatic assumption is, oh, it has to do with the fact that she's white, but she's incredibly talented. I mean, she's breaking records. You get what I'm saying? Like, it would be entirely different if she's just a mediocre player and she just happens to be white and attractive and everyone's like giving her accolades for that. But she's breaking records. And I just feel like there's something really gross about diminishing her talent to just focus on things that she can't control, like her skin color.
Yeah, so here's what I mean. Look, sometimes race plays a role in popularity. So for example, Jason Sehorn was one of the last white cornerbacks in the NFL, cornerback playing defense. And his jersey would always be the top seller. Even though there were more talented players, better cornerbacks, et cetera, it was a lot of white kids who related to Jason Sehorn and they'd buy his jersey, okay? That's why it was a top seller. And he was a great cornerback, don't get me wrong. Tiger Woods, his race played some role in his popularity because he was a rare black golfer and that drew a lot of attention. Now that doesn't mean that Tiger Woods was only drawing attention because he was black. No, he was the best golfer, right? And Caitlin Clark is the best in the rookie class, was the best in college. Her stats are awesome. So she's drawing attention for both. It's a little bit like, oh, she happens to be white. The league is 70% black. On the other hand, did LeBron James, who was similarly situated, he came out from high school, but had gigantic numbers like Caitlin Clark does out of college. Did he get hyped up just as much? Yeah, he did. Now he happened to deliver on that hype, but he was black, the league was mostly black, and he got massive hype anyway. So it's not just about race at all. Sometimes it's a little bit of a factor. Saying it's never a factor isn't right, but people are too obsessed with it. So when you look back at the first clip that we showed you guys, that guy's a jackass. Oh, it's a lesbian black league and that's why. What does the lesbian or straight have anything to do with this?
Yeah, I hate everybody, okay? Like, the country has become far too divided based on identitarianism. It's toxic, it's in every single facet of life, and I find it super dehumanizing and disgusting. Las Vegas Aces star Asia Wilson said this. She was asked whether she feels that race has something to do with Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise, and she says, I think it's a huge thing. I think a lot of people may say it's not about black and white, but to me it is. It really is, because you can be top notch at what you are as a black woman, but yet maybe that's something that people don't want to see. And then she continues to say, they don't see it as marketable, so it doesn't matter how hard I work. It doesn't matter what we all do as black women. We're still going to be swept underneath the rug. That's why it boils my blood when people say it's not about race, because it is. To which I say, Serena Williams was the top tennis player for a long time, highly marketable, became incredibly famous, incredibly rich off of her talent as a black woman in tennis. Yes, there were racists in the country that attacked her for racist reasons, but put that aside. The idea that black women are not marketable, if they're incredibly talented and like at the top of their craft or the athletics that they're involved in, it's just, I think it's a ridiculous statement to make.
So look, I get that Caitlin Clark captured the imagination of the country, and I don't know what percentage her being white had to do with it. On the other hand, Anna's indisputably right. Before Serena Williams, it was Venus Williams. And why was that different? You could argue, hey, it's very successful black women in a generally white sport, same thing as Tiger Woods, and that's maybe made them more marketable rather than less marketable. On the other hand, guys, it's not like we had trouble marketing as a country and Nike as a company, et cetera, among other companies, had trouble marketing Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. It's not like people were like, oh my God, we can't market black people in this country. No, we figured it out, we can. Okay, so there was a reasonable way to have this conversation where you acknowledge that race might have been a small part of why she captured the imagination, but it was mainly because she was a terrific player and a rare player of that caliber coming into the league, something to celebrate, right? But we didn't have that reasonable conversation. Instead, we had people yelling at each other saying, oh, it's only because she's white. Oh yeah, it's because you guys are black and lesbian that you hate her. None of that is true, none of that is productive. But what I do love, and the ironic silver lining here, is that it's produced so much hype and drama that now more people are gonna watch the WNBA, which is a great thing. So they accidentally hyped it up in a way that's gonna bring good results. All right, bonus episode is Operation Joy, where we talk about how to make each other happy. It's an amazing thing, people love it, you get addicted to it. tyt.com/team or hit the join button below, we'll see you there. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.